What if I told you your body already has a built-in way to flush out excess cholesterol? And you can start activating it in the next 48 hours. Not with a crazy cleanse, not with a punishing workout plan, and not with some expensive supplement. I'm talking about a natural system inside you right now that's designed to pull cholesterol out of your bloodstream and send it out of your body. But most people are living in a way that keeps it switched off. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to turn that system back on using simple changes that start working almost immediately. Your body is not just passively carrying cholesterol around like luggage with nowhere to go. It actually runs a constant cleanup and recycling program designed to keep things in balance. Cholesterol is essential for life, helping build cell membranes, produce hormones like estrogen and testosterone, and support brain function. But because it's a fat-like substance, it can't travel freely in the blood on its own. That's where lipoproteins come in, acting like transport vehicles. Low-density lipoprotein, or LDL, delivers cholesterol to tissues, while high-density lipoprotein, HDL, works more like a return service, picking up excess cholesterol that cells no longer need. This return trip is the beginning of what scientists call reverse cholesterol transport, and it's one of the most important protective systems in your cardiovascular health. HDL particles move through your bloodstream almost like tiny vacuum trucks, collecting leftover cholesterol from the walls of blood vessels and from tissues throughout the body. Instead of letting that cholesterol sit around where it can contribute to plaque buildup, HDL carries it back to the liver. The liver is like a processing plant, constantly sorting, converting, packaging, and redistributing nutrients and waste products. When HDL delivers cholesterol to the liver, it doesn't just store it indefinitely. A significant portion of that cholesterol gets converted into bile acids, which are released into the digestive tract to help break down fats from the foods you eat. Bile is a crucial but often overlooked part of this system. Every time you eat a meal that contains fat, your gallbladder releases bile into your small intestine. That bile contains compounds made from cholesterol, which act like detergents to emulsify fats so they can be digested and absorbed. After bile has done its job, part of it gets reabsorbed and recycled, but some of it continues through the intestines and eventually leaves the body in stool. When bile leaves, the cholesterol used to make it leaves too. This is one of the main ways your body physically removes cholesterol, not just moves it around. Your digestive tract and gut bacteria also play a supporting role in this drain system. Certain gut microbes help modify bile acids in ways that make them less likely to be reabsorbed, increasing the amount that gets excreted. The speed of digestion, the amount of fiber in your diet, and the overall health of your gut lining all influence how much cholesterol ultimately exits versus how much gets pulled back into circulation. If digestion is sluggish or fiber intake is low, more bile can be reabsorbed, which means less cholesterol leaves the body. All of these steps, HDL collecting cholesterol, the liver converting it into bile, bile entering the intestines, and a portion being eliminated form a continuous loop of transport and removal that is happening inside you every single day whether you notice it or not, quietly working in the background to protect your arteries and maintain balance. Even when your lifestyle isn't making that job easy, one of the most powerful tools for helping your body get rid of excess cholesterol isn't found in a bottle or a supplement aisle. It's found in everyday foods that are rich in soluble fiber. Soluble fiber is different from the rough, stringy fiber people often think about. Instead of just adding bulk, it dissolves in water and forms a gel-like substance in your digestive tract. That gel changes what happens to cholesterol at a very practical, physical level inside your body. Your liver makes bile using cholesterol, and bile gets released into your small intestine to help break down fats when you eat. Under normal circumstances, a large portion of that bile gets reabsorbed farther down the digestive tract and sent back to the liver to be reused. This recycling system is efficient, but it also means the cholesterol used to make that bile doesn't necessarily leave your body. Soluble fiber interrupts that cycle in a helpful way. When soluble fiber forms that gel in your intestines, it binds to bile acids and holds on to them. Instead of being reabsorbed, more of that bile gets carried out of the body in stool. When bile leaves, cholesterol leaves with it. Your liver then has to pull more cholesterol out of your bloodstream to make new bile acids, which lowers the amount of cholesterol circulating in your blood. This is one of the key mechanisms behind how soluble fiber helps reduce LDL cholesterol levels. It's not forcing your body into anything unnatural. It's simply nudging an existing system to work a little harder at clearing excess. Foods that are especially rich in soluble fiber include oats, barley, beans, lentils, chickpeas, chia seeds, flax seeds, apples, pears, and berries. Oats and barley contain a type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which has been widely studied for its cholesterol-lowering effects. Just a bowl of oatmeal can provide a meaningful dose. Legumes like beans and lentils bring a double benefit because they also provide plant protein, which can help you naturally eat less saturated fat from animal sources. Fruits like apples and pears contain pectin, another form of soluble fiber that contributes to the same bile binding effect. What's exciting is how quickly your digestive system responds when you increase soluble fiber intake. Within a day or two, the environment in your gut starts to change. The gel formed by soluble fiber slows digestion slightly, which can help regulate blood sugar and improve satiety, but it also increases the amount of bile that gets trapped and removed. At the same time, your gut bacteria begin fermenting some of that fiber, producing short-chain fatty acids that may also support healthy cholesterol metabolism in the liver. Adding soluble fiber doesn't have to be complicated or extreme. Swapping a refined breakfast for oatmeal with berries and seeds, adding beans to a salad or soup, or choosing fruit as a snack instead of processed sweets can significantly increase urine intake. These small shifts send a clear signal to your body that it's time to clear more cholesterol through the digestive tract. Turning your gut into a more active partner in heart health rather than just a passive tube food passes through movement is one of the most underrated tools your body has for managing cholesterol. And it works in ways that go far beyond just burning calories. When you exercise, your muscles suddenly demand more energy, and that changes how your body handles fats and cholesterol in the bloodstream. Instead of letting lipids linger in circulation, your system becomes more efficient at pulling them out and putting them to use. This shift begins surprisingly quickly when you go from being mostly sedentary to moving your body with intention. One of the key effects of regular physical activity is its impact on enzymes that help process lipoproteins, the particles that carry cholesterol through your blood. Exercise increases the activity of enzymes like lipoprotein lipase, which helps break down triglyceride-rich particles, so fats can be used for energy or stored more safely. As these particles are cleared more efficiently, there's less leftover material, contributing to the formation of small, dense LDL particles, which are more likely to slip into artery walls. At the same time, physical activity supports the pathways that shuttle LDL cholesterol back to the liver where it can be processed and removed from circulation. Exercise also plays a role in improving the function and levels of HDL, the so-called good cholesterol. HDL doesn't just float around with a label that says healthy. It has a job to do. It collects excess cholesterol from tissues and artery walls and transports it back to the liver in a process known as reverse cholesterol transport. Regular aerobic activity, like brisk walking, cycling, swimming, or dancing, has been shown to help raise HDL levels over time and improve how well those particles perform their cleanup duties. Even before big changes in lab numbers appear, the efficiency of this transport system can begin to improve. Blood flow itself is another part of the story. When you move, your heart pumps harder and your circulation increases. That enhanced blood flow creates more shear stress along the inner lining of your blood vessels, which actually signals those cells to function better. Healthier vessel linings are less prone to inflammation and less likely to allow cholesterol to settle into the walls. In this way, exercise helps make your arteries a less welcoming environment for plaque buildup while also supporting the removal side of the equation. You don't need extreme workouts to trigger these benefits. Consistency matters far more than intensity. A daily 30-minute brisk walk, a bike ride, a bodyweight circuit at home, or even breaking up long sitting periods with short activity bursts can all contribute to better lipid handling. When muscles are used regularly, they become more metabolically active, pulling more fuel from the bloodstream and reducing the burden on your circulatory system. Over the course of just a couple of days, your body starts adjusting to this new demand. Muscles increase their ability to take up fatty acids, enzymes involved in lipid metabolism become more active, and your system begins shifting from a storage-focused state to a usage and clearance mode. This is how movement acts like a gentle sweep through your bloodstream, encouraging cholesterol to be processed, transported, and ultimately removed, rather than left to circulate aimlessly and settle where it doesn't belong. Your gut is not just a passive tube where food goes in one end and waste comes out the other. It's a living ecosystem filled with trillions of bacteria that constantly interact with what you eat and with your body's own chemistry. These microbes don't just help digest food, they also influence how your body handles bile and cholesterol. That means the balance of bacteria in your gut can directly affect how much cholesterol gets recycled back into your bloodstream and how much actually leaves your body. When your liver turns cholesterol into bile acids and releases them into the digestive tract, those bile acids travel through the intestines to help break down dietary fats. Along the way, gut bacteria modify these bile acids through chemical changes. Some of these changes make bile acids more likely to be excreted rather than reabsorbed. When more bile leaves in stool, more cholesterol leaves with it, since cholesterol was used to make that bile in the first place. In this way, certain gut microbes support your body's natural cholesterol drain by tipping the balance toward elimination instead of recycling. The types of bacteria that thrive in your gut depend heavily on what you feed them. Diets rich in fiber, especially from a variety of plant foods, encourage the growth of beneficial bacteria that ferment fiber into compounds called short-chain fatty acids. These compounds such as butyrate, propionate, and acetate have multiple effects inside the body. Some research suggests they can help regulate cholesterol production in the liver and improve the way bile acids are processed. At the same time, a fiber-rich diet increases stool bulk and speeds up intestinal transit time, which can reduce how much bile gets reabsorbed before it has a chance to exit. On the other hand, diets high in ultra-processed foods, low in fiber, and heavy in added sugars and unhealthy fats can reduce microbial diversity and favor bacteria that are less helpful for bile metabolism. A less diverse gut environment may be less efficient at modifying bile acids in ways that promote excretion. Slower digestion and constipation also give the body more time to reabsorb bile, which means less cholesterol leaves the system. Over time, this can subtly shift your internal balance toward retaining more cholesterol than you need. Fermented foods can also play a supportive role. Foods like yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and other traditionally fermented items introduce beneficial bacteria and compounds that may help strengthen the gut ecosystem. While they're not magic on their own, combined with a high-fiber diet, they can help create a gut environment that favors better bioprocessing and overall metabolic health. What's encouraging is how quickly the gut microbiome can begin to change when your diet changes. Within just a couple of days of increasing plant foods and fiber, the composition and activity of your gut bacteria can start shifting. That means your digestive tract can become more effective at moving bile and cholesterol out of the body rather than recycling it back into circulation, turning your gut into an active partner in managing cholesterol levels, instead of a silent bystander. In the process, one of the biggest misconceptions about cholesterol and heart health is the idea that change only happens with dramatic, all-or-nothing transformation, when in reality your body responds most reliably to small actions repeated consistently. Every time you choose a fiber-rich meal, go for a walk, drink water instead of sugary drinks, or get to bed on time, you're sending signals that influence how your body handles fats and cholesterol. These signals don't work in isolation. They stack together, gradually shifting your internal chemistry from a state that favors build-up to one that favors balance and removal. Your metabolism is highly responsive to patterns. When healthy choices happen once in a while, the effects are brief. But when those choices become daily habits, your body starts to adapt. Enzymes involved in fat metabolism become more active. Muscles get better at using fatty acids for energy. The liver becomes more efficient at packaging and clearing lipids. HDL particles can function more effectively in their role of transporting excess cholesterol away from tissues. None of this requires perfection. It requires repetition. Hydration is a simple example. Drinking enough water supports blood volume, circulation, and digestion. Well-hydrated intestines move waste along more efficiently, which helps bile acids and the cholesterol used to make them leave the body rather than sitting around to be reabsorbed. One glass of water won't change your lab results, but making hydration a daily habit supports the larger system that regulates cholesterol balance. Sleep works the same way. One good night of sleep feels nice, but consistent, Adequate sleep helps regulate hormones that control appetite, blood sugar, stress, and inflammation. Poor sleep is linked with metabolic changes that can worsen cholesterol profiles over time. When you regularly get enough rest, your body spends more time in repair and regulation mode instead of constant stress mode. That hormonal environment supports healthier lipid metabolism in subtle but meaningful ways. Stress management also adds up. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated, which can influence how your body stores fat and processes lipids. Short moments of calm, deep breathing, stretching, quiet walks, time outdoors, or anything that helps you slow down may seem small, but done regularly they reduce the constant stress signaling that interferes with metabolic balance. Lower background. Stress allows other healthy habits to work more effectively. The power of consistency is that it changes your baseline. Instead of your body constantly reacting to poor sleep, high stress, processed foods, and inactivity, it begins operating in an environment where movement, fiber, hydration, and rest are normal. In that environment, the natural systems that clear cholesterol have a better chance to keep up. The direction of change matters more than speed, and when your daily habits repeatedly point toward better support, your body gradually shifts from storing and circulating excess cholesterol to managing and clearing it more efficiently over time.